Hello, Thundersmith here, welcome to the Gaming Nexus. Today we're at Gold Rock City and I'll be doing another trade to hopefully earn enough money to at last buy a big ship. I'm close enough because I 70% there, so it's just a matter of few more trades. Let's hopefully count that this one will bring me a lot closer to my target than actually rest of the trades. I had better trades, I had worse trades. Let's hope for the better this time. Okay, so I skipped the night and I'll be going into the port office to check the trades and select something for today. I'm not putting any forced restrictions this time, I'm just hoping for the best cargo. But I will be looking strongly at the income per crate. So I'll be probably choosing some of the more precious cargo. And yeah, I checked the market and the goods are actually one of the best trades. And it just happened that we are trading to Albacore town, so we have never ever been there yet. So that's good, because we can visit the island we haven't seen yet. Okay, let me buy some goods. Let's use all the money. We should earn around, it says around 100 coins per crate, so let's skip the loading. Nobody wants to see the loading. If you don't believe me, this video would be about 45 minutes longer only if I would allow myself to bore you with the process of loading all the crates. So let's look for the missions, because I don't have my boat loaded up to the top, so I can take a few more missions. Especially missions like blue tobacco or green tobacco, because those are small crates. I can definitely feed them onto my boat and earn both some additional coin and gather more reputation, so the following trades can be more profitable, just because higher reputation means bigger discounts when buying in bulk, and this translates into higher profits when selling. So let's load up the mission cargo and my boat is ready to go. So let's unmoor and we'll be departing from the Gold Rock City. So let's turn the steer. The wind is pushing from the back slightly, so it's pushing us away. Let's open sail. This should shorten the process. I should of course set the sail correctly, but nonetheless, just opening it helped. I could turn it to actually use the full and we hit the dock anyway. So yeah, I could turn it to actually use more of the wind force, but I just left it like this because I was expecting the turn, and I know I would have to change my sail shortly, and as you can see it's almost perfect after the turn, so it was a good call to actually leave it parallel to the boat center. Okay, so we just need to be patient up until we pass the shallows, visible as those wooden poles sticking out of the water. They there to help you navigate and not fall into the shallows. So avoid them, sail around. And once I pass the shallows, I'll be able to turn in my desired direction. So it will be south east. Yes, southeast. I want to sail southeast. That's the direction of Albacore town, looking from Goldrock City. And that's where we will be selling my cargo today. I'm hoping for about 600 coins of return. So hopefully I can get enough money for the big ship in the next episode. Of course, I, as always, am placing a summary of how much money did I earn on the last few seconds of the video. So if you're not exactly interested in whole the process of hauling the cargo there, you can just skip ahead. Probably look at the last seconds of the video and find out. So you don't have to wait through the whole process. But if you prefer to actually immerse yourself in the game and feel a little bit like sailing yourself, maybe with a little help, then let's just stay with me in this little boat, maybe for last time, maybe for one before last time, who knows. Only after I sell the cargo I will be able to tell you if I'm already there or do I need to trade some more. So yeah. I got some comments about using fishing pole, but actually I find it not very useful, especially if you don't have ability to fry your fish, because, well, I haven't checked the fishing pole right after the food update, but before the food update raw fish were not exactly a valid food source from my point of view, because you needed like 9 of them to actually survive through the day, and with how much time it took to actually catch any, it was just impossible to collect enough fish to sustain yourself with fish by fishing, because the day was just too short to catch 9 fish. Well, unless you were doing nothing else, just fishing. Otherwise, if you managed your direction, looked if the sail is correctly set, and checked if you're sailing the correct direction, at least for me, it was impossible to catch 9 fish during one day. Especially that sometimes fishing pole is actually a little bit annoying, and it tends to force you to wait for quite a long time before any fish is caught. So that's that. I need to check this out after the food update. Maybe raw fish are something worth thinking about right now, but before the update there were not. Without frying them, they were not viable source of food, because you see they gave you like 1/9 of your food bar, and it was just pointless. There were bigger and smaller fish, so depending on the fish, because if you caught some small fish, I don't remember the names, but like the little ones, then you were forced to like eat 12 of them or something, even after being baked, fried, whatever. They are like not worth it, like totally not worth it, because then if you have a lot of luck and you catch 3 big fishes, then you actually can survive the day only on the fried fish. But otherwise, it's not a viable way of feeding yourself. And nonetheless, I don't want another crate on my boat right now, because if I decided to invest into the fishing rod and then I would need to also buy fishing hooks for my rod, because knowing my luck, I would probably lose my fishing hook on my fishing rod in the first catch. So I will definitely need the fishing hooks crate, and I don't have space on my boat to actually carry another crate around because it's too small. So I'm glad you told me about the fishing rod. Don't be mistaken. I'm not telling that's the bad idea. I will definitely check it out. Only I'm waiting for the bigger ship, because there I can actually think about frying the fish or drying the fish, and this way storing them for further use without actually wasting them by rod. So I'll definitely check out the fishing rod once I have the big ship and once I have my smoker or dryer, just to be sure that the fish won't spoil and can be used as valid food source for my further travels, especially once I decide to actually cross the ocean and change my archipelago, as this will force me to actually prepare more food and water for the travel. So using fish would definitely decrease the cost of the food I will need for the travel. So yeah, it's worth thinking about, but I have my doubts about that, and I'm not sure if it will pay out. So be sure to check out my videos once I get the fishing rod, because I'll be checking out if it's valid right now or if fish are too weak source of food still. So it's worth to check that. Anyway, as you can see, and as you can hear probably, the wind is quite strong, so I am hoping we will reach Albacore town in quite a short time. We shouldn't be waiting for long, especially that the night is coming, because again I'll be skipping the night. We don't want to sail during the night. There's nothing to see during the night, so let's not force you to look at dark black screen through like 15 minutes or something. If you're playing the game by yourself, don't worry about the night. The lighting system in the game has some issues with the morning and the evening. So once the sun comes down and night starts, it's like totally black dark and you can't see a thing. But once you wait through this moment and actually sail further and just survive for a few minutes, just enough for the proper night to start, everything becomes a little bit brighter and it's actually valid to sail through the night. But of course in the video it's hard to use the night when it's dark and visibility is very limited to actually showcase anything, so I don't want you to, as I said, look at the dark screen for extended periods of time. And in the morning is the same issue. If the sun is just about to rise, then there's the issue with lighting where neither night light neither daylight is reaching you, and like everything is totally dark and you can't see a thing for a moment, and in a few minutes sun will rise and everything will be fine just because the day started. So don't be afraid to sail through the night, it's actually valid, but there are two key points where you need to be extra careful. At the evening when the sun is disappearing behind the horizon, and in the morning when the sun is rising from behind the horizon, because those moments are the darkest moments in the game day. So just survive them and everything will be fine. Of course, take note of your sleep bar because that's important. Keep your eye on that and don't let it fall too low. Of course, the sleep bar has its white background, so you can use whole of the sleep bar and then some before falling unconscious or asleep. But you know, it's best to stay on top of it, because if you start dipping too strongly into overusing the sleep bar, at some point it will bite you in the back, because you know, at some point you will have to sleep and you can oversail your island just because the game decides that, well, you haven't slept for a while, so let's rewind whole the sleeping period that you missed, and then some and you'll be like, okay, where the heck am I? Not good place to be. Well, if you have your navigation equipment, maybe you will be able to find yourself on the map and save yourself. But without navigational equipment, it might be the end of your journey. Well, the end of the journey. Again, I'm too negative about that, because you will just need to recover your boat, the nearest city, and lose 10% of all your coins. So yeah, that's maybe not end of your travels, but it will be costly to actually deal with being lost and not being able to return to the civilization. So yeah. Anyway, if you lose all the food or all the water, and then some, the game will just do this for you. So the game will recover you to the nearest city, and you will lose 10% of all your gold or your coins actually, just to pay for the rescue. So as you can see, during the night I hit something and it's some kind of island. Probably it's Albacore town, but I will need to go and check out if that's correct. But first thing first, I need to roll up the sail because I don't want to lose my boat while I be running around the island. So let's do that and let's check the island. So here is the dock. That's where my boat should be. So I'll need to get there with my boat. There's no door here. Oh, here's. And what? It's Albacore town. So we're where we should be, but not exactly. We still need to get to the dock and moor my boat where it needs to be. Because I will not be carrying all my cargo through this island, especially knowing that my boat can sail away at any point and I won't be able to find it. So I was risking anyway by running around and leaving my boat here, but luckily it's still there, so let's use that. The colors may be a bit strange because I tried to make this part of the night a little bit brighter, but it's actually the worst point at time to sail because this is the part that I was talking about, the darkest part where neither day neither night light is actually shining, and so everything is super dark and I have very hard time sailing my boat and reaching the dock. I was almost blindly trusting that I'm sailing in the correct direction. I even almost crashed at the side of the dock, so I would be unable to actually dock my boat properly, and as you can see I bypassed the dock, but now the dock is too short and I am unable to, well, I want to catch my boat to the mooring point, but of course I misclicked and now I need to try to catch the rope before I'll be too far, because the ropes are finite, they don't have infinite length. But yeah, I managed to catch my boat with the mooring rope, so now I'll be able to just pull it back and moor it properly so I can get my cargo. So let's do that. And we can see that the morning is appearing slowly. So in a few minutes I'll be turning off my lantern to just save some candle or oil, whatever it is, whichever it is, sorry. And after I turn off my lantern, then I'll be also bringing back normal colors. So yeah, it's starting to be bright, so that's good. Let's bring the boat at least a little bit, because the wind is trying very hard to move it forward anyway. So let's turn off the lantern and bring back the normal colors. So that's how it looks in the morning without the adjustment. It's a little bit darker. Luckily there's still a lot of light to take around, so it's starting to be visible. And let's unload the mission and the cargo. So first green tobacco. It's hard to aim at this crate. It's so annoying. Some blue tobacco. And let's skip the rest. So the last crate. This is one with the goods we bought at Gold Rock City. And we have 7 crates, 7, maybe even 8 crates of goods to Albacore town. So the boat is empty. So let's check out the prices and let's start selling. Yeah, so first, again, I need to check my trade receipt. So 20 to 278. I need 278. It's 407. So I'm earning a lot, around 200 coins per crate. So let's take our receipt and let's see the summary. So I'm there. See you soon.